Hi, and welcome once again to East Hill Notes. My name is Gary Stewart. I'm the Deputy Director in the Office of Government and Community Relations at Cornell University. Today, we're at Cornell Cooperative Extension of Tompkins County down on Willow Avenue. It's very easy to say this is probably the busiest building in all of Tompkins County, given the number of programs and the diversity of programs that are found within its walls. It's also safe to say this is not your mother's cooperative extension anymore. We're going to talk to a lot of folks here today, and we look forward to visiting with people all over this building who are going to tell us a little about the wonderful work that this wonderful community asset does, Cornell Cooperative Extension of Tompkins County. Let's go. Our first guest is Ken Schlatter. He's the Executive Director of Cornell Cooperative Extension of Tompkins County. Ken, when someone asks you what cooperative extension does in Tompkins County and how it's evolved, do you have an elevator speech you can give that person? I mean, what's that sound like?
Well, most people, when they talk about cooperative extension, they one of the things we get is that, guys, you guys do everything. You're all over everywhere. But in fact, we're an education organization. Nobody talks to Cornell and says, well, wow, you guys have so many different class offerings, because in fact, you're an education organization. That's what you do. And in fact, that's what we are. We're an education organization but our basic approach is that people have issues and problems, and that they learn best when they're dealing with those issues and problems that they consider priorities. So our courses, if you will, are courses that are designed to help people figure out what they need to do to address the issues they're most concerned about.
So extension is really like a work in progress that's constantly evolving.
Constantly evolving. We started working with farmers and farmers' wives, because at that time most of the farmers were male, and we worked with the farmers' kids. We've grown out from there. We still work with agriculture across the board. We work with environmental issues. We work with the whole family now, but not just rural families, urban families as well. We work, in fact, this association doesn't, but Cooperative Extension has an association in New York City, and there aren't too many farms there.
Yeah, I want to talk about that. So the muscle and the beauty of cooperative extension is its statewide reach, but how does extension offices, how do they tailor their individual programs? How's it different here than, say, in Washington or Ulster counties?
Well, it starts with the design. By law, every county in New York State can have an association, but we can only have an association if local governments put money on the table, which means, of course, then that we have to respond to what local priorities are in order to continue to get funding from county governments. So we start here in Cooperative Extension, here in Tompkins County. Every 4 to 5 years, we go out and actually do fairly large-scale assessments, lots of interviews. This last time we did it, it was 250 people that we talked to across the county about issues that they thought were important. And our question to them was, what needs to happen for you to improve your life, the life of your family, and the life of your community? And from that, then, the answers that we got are essentially what guides us in our program selection and our program development.
Well, we're really looking forward to talking to some of your folks today, and we thank you for the hospitality extended for our crew and everyone else. So thank you.
Well, thank you. It's great to have you here.
We're talking now to Megan Tift. She's a 4-H team coordinator. Megan, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome.
You know, back in the day, 4-H had a certain image tied to it, but it's really changed over the years. A lot has changed for 4-H. Now we have things like rural youth services, urban outreach, primitive pursuits. Can you describe briefly some of the things that are under the 4-H umbrella in 2008?
Well, 4-H in Tompkins County is very unique. Traditionally, 4-H has been 4-H clubs, and that's what most people think of when they think of the 4-H program. And here in Tompkins County, we have a very strong 4-H program, and we keep the roots of the 4-H program alive in how we do business. And we also offer youth development, 4-H youth development, in many different ways. We offer it through primitive pursuits, which is an ancestral nature awareness program. We have rural youth services, which works with middle school aged youth generally in all of the towns in Tompkins County, and that's a partnership with county youth services and all the towns and cooperative extension. We also have Reality Check. It's a teen-led anti-tobacco movement, and it really gets kids involved in decision-making processes around tobacco. And we also have our urban 4-H program, which it started at West Village here in Tompkins County, and is now at Parkside and Bell Sherman, and generally works with a lower income population in an after-school setting. So we're lucky here that we have so much community support and town support to be able to offer so many different ways for kids to become involved in 4-H.
How do you folks reach out to today's youth who's very distracted, very busy, has a lot of options, to show them that 4-H is still very cutting edge and relevant and might be of interest to them?
Well, again, we're lucky to be in Tompkins County. We have a huge amount of volunteer support through Cornell, and parents that are very involved. It's really challenging to be part of a youth organization where you're wanting to keep up with the times, keep your roots alive, but also you don't want to be we don't want to be stereotyped that it's just for one kind of kid. And we are lucky that we have many, many wonderful staff and volunteers that reach out and let kids know about all the wonderful programs that we have to offer. And I think what's really cool is that we're able to offer so many different types of programs, and these programs are designed with the kids in mind. You know, the kids are the ones that are helping make the decisions about what they want to be involved in. And I think that's the beauty of 4-H, is that if a kid can think of a project or a program, we most likely can develop a program around that, or we have a 4-H club or program to meet their needs. Of course, it tends to get a little harder as the kids get older, but we also have a really strong teen program, which involves things like a lot of decision-making, traveling, things like that. And of course, teenagers really like that. And opportunities to learn skills, workforce development skills, so making a little bit of money helps keep them involved.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Megan, thanks for taking your time, and congratulations on all the great work you guys are doing here.
Thank you.
Thanks. We're visiting now with Monica Roth. Monica's an agricultural extension educator who's one of the many well-known people here at Cooperative Extension of Tompkins County. I think, Monica, you've been here 29 years, is that right?
Yes.
You have a lot of interest tied to local agriculture. How is Cooperative Extension involved in agricultural land use planning locally?
Well, one of the key ways that we're involved is through the Tompkins County Agriculture and Farmland Protection Board. We're a member on the board, and we help staff that board, and that board has developed an agricultural plan for Tompkins County that focuses on land use as well as ag economic development and ag policies. And so we're very instrumental in moving forward policies related to land use. One in particular that we've been promoting has been the purchase of development rights. And we've been successful in getting some state funding that has helped to purchase development rights on about 4 farms to date. And so that is a key cornerstone of the ag and farmland protection policy that we're moving on.
We're fortunate to have a lot of different farmers markets around Tompkins County that stress the need to buy local whenever we can. How does the Ithaca market stack up to others in New York State? And do you see any enhanced role for farmers markets, particularly here in Ithaca, in the future?
Well, of course, we're one of the best markets in the state. I always say we're the largest market for a community of our size, probably in the country, if you look at the population. And we have been fortunate that this market has, from day one, 35 years ago, had as its central policy to be only locally grown or made. So everyone that comes to the market only has local products, and all within a 30-mile radius of Ithaca. That's really unique, and it's really been great in promoting small-scale agriculture within that 30-mile radius. I also say that we probably have more small-scale farmers than anywhere else in the country because of that 30-mile radius. It's sort of concentrated them and given them a direct marketing opportunity. And so we have had some really good policies that have helped build this market, and it's a solid foundation. And in our Buy Local campaign, we continue to work on other ways that we can connect local consumers to the area farmers and help strengthen their income and make them more profitable, hopefully. And we have worked on small markets in rural communities. We've got 3 going. The one that I like to feel like it's been our success story is the Trumansburg Market, which has about 30 vendors, and this last season it just blossomed amazingly. But that was started by us, a small little seed that we planted in that community and got it going. And it takes persistence, but it really has paid off. So.
And I would imagine on the Cooperative Extension website and other places, there's information about the importance of buying local whenever we can.
We have our local foods guide on our website. We do have a little section of the website that focuses on the Buy Local campaign and all other things that we're doing. And so people can access, how to find local farmers. We can help them do that.
Finally, I wanted to ask you about another visible component of your work, and that's the Citizen Pruners and the Community Beautification Program. Can you tell us a little more about their roots, no pun intended, and how people can get involved in those programs?
Oh, they're just great programs. They're one of my favorites because I like to get my hands dirty. But the Citizen Pruners started in 1990, and that's volunteers working with the city pruning street trees. And we work a couple of times a week, and people can volunteer to work from May to October. And we give them all the training they need so they don't have to be afraid to prune. And then the beautification program started parts of it started in the mid-90s, but officially probably in 2000. And we have a volunteer beautification brigade that does all of the plantings around the city. That program is fully supported by the tourism dollars, tax dollars that are collected through room tax. And we just like to make the city look good, so it looks good to our visitors that come here. It looks good to the rest of us that live here and can enjoy all the great plantings that the volunteers do.
Well, Monica, thank you so much for your decades of service to the community. And a lot of people know your name, Monica Roth, throughout Tompkins County. And I'm glad they've had a chance to see you today on East Hill Notes. Thank you.
Thank you.
So we're talking now with Carol Fisher. Carol's a community educator here at Cooperative Extension. Deals a lot with initiatives tied to energy savings, and December is a great time to be talking about that. Carol, can you tell us about some of the programs tied to energy savings that Extension deals with and you specifically?
Yeah, sure. One of the workshops that I give here and have been doing for about 5 years now is called Save Energy, Save Dollars, and we usually do it as a 2-hour workshop. And we talk about all the ways that people can save energy, save money on their energy bills in their home. And so we talk about weatherization, we talk about appliances, we talk about all the various things that one can do to reduce their energy bills, conserve energy, make their homes more energy efficient and more comfortable at the same time.
In these tight economic times, I gather there's a lot of interest in this right now.
There's a lot of interest, you're right, and there has been for the last few years, especially since oil and gas prices have gone up. But we also see people who are interested in conserving energy for other reasons, environmental reasons, climate change, things like that as well.
So there's a lot of green elements in all this work.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know one of the components within the energy savings plan is window weatherization. And you folks down here have some kits. And can you show us what would be in a standard window weatherization kit?
Yeah, we have this nice kit that we give out at the end of the workshop and talk about how to go through how to use them during the workshop. And this is what the kit looks like. We give one to each household that comes to the workshop. What's in it is a tube of window and door caulk. So there's one of these. We also give out these gaskets that are for sealing air leaks, reducing draft around light switches and electrical outlets. A lot of times cold air comes through. We have a little package of rope caulk. That's what this is. And we have a shrink window insulation kit. These are the plastic sheets that people put on windows to seal out the air leakage. We also have a refrigerator thermometer, something you can use in your refrigerator or your freezer to make sure that you're not keeping them too cold and wasting energy. And one other thing we have in there are several of these outlet covers, and this would go into the outlet also to prevent cold air from coming through. So that's what's in our energy kit that we give out at the workshop.
Mm-hmm. So there's other uses for those little plugs besides when you have a 2-year-old in the house,
That's
right?
right. If you have them, you should save them.
As far as the workshops and the kits, is there a charge for these, or how does that work out?
The workshops are free. They're open to the public, and we offer them several times a month. The kits are free as well.
Okay. And one final question, Carol. Where can people go for more information on how to save energy in their home or their business?
Well, we certainly have a lot of information on our website, and we have fact sheets. Many of the Cornell University fact sheets are on our website, are linked from our website. We have links from our website to other websites. We also have information, written information that we give people right here. If they want to come in, or we can mail them to them, they can call us on our consumer helpline, and we're happy to share information, both written information as well as talk to people over the phone about things that they can do. So there's a number of ways people can access our information.
Oh, this is great. And Carol, thanks for taking your time today.
No problem. Thank you.
We're talking now to Ann Gifford. Ann is a program team coordinator in consumer and financial management education here at Cooperative Extension, one of the more well-known names here at Cooperative Extension for the wonderful work you do in the community. And we're in a particularly stressful time now with the economy, and a lot of people are going to be interested in the services and programs here at Extension. What are some of the things that you folks are doing to react to the current economic crises, and how do you do the outreach? How do people know about your programs?
Well, we really have ratcheted up the number of financial management programs that we're able to offer, because we know people are really stressed and having difficulties making ends meet. So we have a number of workshops that we offer, two in particular, one called Making Ends Meet, the other is called Exploring Credit Debt Management Issues, and that one has become even more popular, we're seeing more recently with the crisis as people are feeling the crunch. These workshops we offer here at Cooperative Extension, but we also take them out to groups and to locations throughout the county to make them accessible to people.
So if someone, for instance, was involved in a senior citizen center out in Trumansburg, and they said, could you folks come out and visit with us on one of these programs? You would try to make that happen?
Absolutely. And one of the ones that is particular interest to the senior population is the identity theft, which we frequently do.
Mm-hmm. And these programs are free of charge?
Yes.
What we have in front of us right now is a budget kit, budgeting kit, correct?
Well, actually, we call it our money management toolkit.
Okay. And these are kits that are handed out at different workshops, or is this just information that's basically available to people who might be interested?
Well, these are specifically distributed to people who attend our Making Ends Meet workshop because of the special funding that we have for it. And we also have a few items that we distribute at the credit workshop. And again, it's because of the special funding. So they have to be the special 2-hour workshops that are funded under the Empower New York program.
Okay. Can you tell us about some of the things that are in the kit?
Yeah, some of the key things in the kit, we have the file folder, which helps to get people organized, and we help them understand how to set this up so they can figure out how to keep the records straight and so forth. We also have a dry erase board, which we encourage people to write their goals on. One of the key things with organizing and managing your money wisely is to have your goals. So you set your goals right out here in front of you and remind you how you're making progress on those. We also have what we call cash trackers. And this is a way that people can keep track of the money they spend out of their pocket, because we find that people will track their spending day to day out of their pocket. They often will reduce how much they spend by as much as 20%, and that's that out-of-pocket stuff. These we also distribute at our credit workshop because they're perfect size for the credit card, so people can use it to keep track of their credit expenditures, because that's when when the bill comes, they won't be surprised as to how much it might be. We also have a couple of these different calculators that we use. One of them helps them find money. If you want to save $1 a day, where might you find that? And it could be cutting back on that latte, it could be cutting back on the various kinds of things that we do as a kind of a habit day to day. We have another one that we use with our credit workshop that shows if you make more than the minimum payment, if you increase that minimum payment from what they require on the credit card from the 2% to the 4%, how much will I save? The payment amount will be increased, obviously, but the amount of interest that I will be spending will be cut back, and I'll be able to pay it off in many years sooner, typically. And of course, we have this standard calculator so that if people can work during the workshop, they will work on their spending plan. So we give them a budget or a calculator to work on that spending plan sheet with. Well, we also offer the one-on-one program. We do the workshops. We do the speaking engagements where we go out to locations. We also offer one-on-one opportunity where people can come in and meet individually with one of our money management educators for 4 to 6 sessions over a period of time. So that's where people can take the strategies we teach in the workshop and then really put them in place for their personal use. Some people can take them from the workshop and go with them and they're fine, but some other people want some coaching along the way.
Okay.
And we have recruited and trained a staff of volunteers that assist with that piece of our programming. We also take a lot of consumer calls about consumer and debt management issues, so that's another way. So there are lots of different delivery modes, as well as the information we've provided to them on our website.
Right. Well, these are all things that are very helpful and understandable for the average consumer. And I think it's fantastic the work you're doing here at Cooperative Extension, and appreciate your service to the community, because it really is a great community service.
Well, great. Thank you.
Thanks for spending your time to be with us today.
My pleasure.
Hi, we're talking now with Anna Steinkraus. Anna's a parenting education coordinator.
Correct.
Here at Cooperative Extension, and you have interesting challenges ahead of you, I'm sure, on a daily basis as parenting changes over the years and kids change over the years. What are some of the programs and outreach initiatives that you have in place to deal with this ever-evolving layer of stresses that parenting has become in 2008?
We have a variety of programs that we offer designed to address the changing challenges for children and the changing challenges for parents. We have one of our main programs is the Parenting Skills Workshop Series, which teaches 5 concrete communication skills. You walk away with 5 skills that really help you to be able to open the doors of communication with your children and deal with their issues. And we have a program called Parenting Styles Workshop Series, which deals with what our parenting styles are, child development, and then environmental issues and cultural issues, influences and issues that affect our children and affect us and how we parent. And so we address those issues and learn ways to work with that, some of these additional challenges. We have a program called Strengthening Families Program, which is a little different than some of our other programs because it's a program that involves the parents and youth ages 10 to 14. So we have a component, they do a little separate workshop and then they come together. A great workshop, really getting them connecting. And then we do a program called Thriving with Your Spirited Child. We offer that once a year, and the name is pretty self-explanatory. And then we have a variety of other programs that we do sort of on a need-be basis, addressing needs that we see in the community.
So final question, households look so differently now than they even did like 20 years ago, and sometimes the parents are together, sometimes they're not, sometimes there's a couple moms, sometimes there's a couple dads. How do you address these changing demographics?
Well, actually, we have a couple other programs I didn't mention. One is called Parents Apart, and that's for parents who are separating and divorcing and learning ways to help keep children out of the conflict. A great program. And then we do offer, and are hoping to offer this year, a program called Smart Steps for step parenting. But we do, in the Parenting Skills Workshop series, the situations we use to practice the skills are all brought up by the participants in the group. So they're real situations that they're dealing with their children. So they learn to use the skills and practice them on issues that are real to them, situations that are real to them. So that's a big piece of what we do.
Well, Anna, the work that you and your colleagues do here is very important and very much appreciated by the community, and thank you for spending a few minutes with us today.
Can I mention one other thing?
Sure, you bet.
Which I forgot. All of our programs, or almost all, offer free childcare. So that's a way of making it more accessible to parents, making it easier for them to be able to come and not have to worry about that piece.
An important piece of information. Thank you for adding that, and thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
And I have to tell you, we've had a wonderful time here at Cooperative Extension, and once again appreciate the hospitality, and your folks were great to us, so thank you for that. Looking ahead, what new opportunities are you folks looking at, and what are the plans for the coming years here?
Well, I mean, and I'm glad you had a great time first, and I really want to thank you again. I also want to point out, you've seen a lot of what we've done, and in fact, you've only touched on a small piece of what we do. We reach, actually in an average year, we reach about 45 to 50,000 people, so almost half the county. And out of that 50,000, 8 to 10,000 are people we reach on a regular basis, at least 8 to 10 times over the course of a year. Any given day, we've got meetings and courses going on in every town in the county every day of the week. And in fact, we talk about ourselves working here at 16/7. We're not 24/7, we're just 16/7. 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it pretty much is that. You also some people may have noticed that we're a bit crowded in here. So we're talking about putting in an expansion to this building, really focused on one of the areas that clearly has tremendous potential here in Tompkins County, which is green economy. And so what we're intending to do is it of course will be a green building, it'll be LEED certified most likely, but we also want to turn it into a set of schools, of building schools, so that people who are interested in green building can learn actually how to do some of the stuff hands-on. And then we'll combine it with CDs and other opportunities for people to sort of both get a hands-on and as well as a visual of how to do the many things that you can do with green buildings here in Tompkins County.
Well, we wish the best for you and the folks here at Willow Avenue, because it's a wonderful community asset. I think sometimes it's not appreciated enough. So once again, congratulations for the great work and how you folks are able to turn on a dime when you need to. So appreciate that.
Thank you very much, and I do agree with you. It's an asset that we all could really grow and learn to use much more, I think, here in the community.
Ken, thanks very much again, and thank you to the viewers for tuning in. This has been East Hill Notes. I'm Gary Stewart. Thanks for watching.